So, what's up? Hope you're doing great today. In this video, we're going to cover all of the topics regarding 5G connectivity. Let's go. Alright, before we get started, in this channel we do tech reviews and tutorials, so if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Let's get right into the video. So 5G is the 5th generation of wireless networks for cell phones. It's been in the making for over a decade now, for over 10 years, and now recently is that we've started to see things move faster and it's just being released. There was a limited rollout of 5G technology in 2018, but it's been this year, 2019, that they've actually been releasing 5G now to mobile networks. Companies that you can get 5G from at the moment is At&t, Verizon, and At&t actually being the first carrier to offer 5G to cell phones. So right now, 5G is only available in certain cities around the US, and during this year and in 2020, 5G services will be expanding and it will be available in more areas as well until it covers the entire United States, just like the previous networks 3G and 4G. And then later on in 2020, we should start seeing some major improvements and new updates for 5G capable devices. It's going to be really interesting, all of the new things and technology that will be capable of with 5G technology. So like I said, At&t and Verizon are offering 5G at this moment in certain cities in the US. T-Mobile hasn't launched it just yet. T-Mobile is expecting to launch it very soon. It was expected to launch around the second half of 2019, which that's where we're at now. We're actually in the middle of 2019 now. So T-Mobile should be releasing it any moment now. And then T-Mobile is expected to release it nationwide by 2020. Another cool thing is that T-Mobile is promising to keep prices the same. So for the new 5G technology, which will be much faster, they're planning on keeping the prices the same as the current 4G cell phone plans. So you'll be able to get more data, faster data for the same prices. And that's something that's going to be super important because with faster data, we're probably going to be using our mobile devices a lot more and downloading and streaming much more data, so our data plans will run out much quicker. So this is something that is going to be very interesting to see what the cell phone carriers begin to offer, but they're definitely going to need to offer us more data along with the faster 5G speeds, all the while keeping prices affordable to the average user. Another cool thing is that since T-Mobile bought Sprint over a few years ago, once T-Mobile starts integrating their 5G network with Sprint's towers, they're going to offer a very nice coverage in the US. So their reception is expected to be a lot better and a lot faster as well, since they're going to be providing us with the towers from T-Mobile and Sprint as well for the new T-Mobile 5G network. Another thing is that all carriers are planning to use different frequency bands for their 5G. So what this pretty much means is that if you buy a 5G phone from Verizon, for example, it's going to be a lot harder to use it on other networks. Normally, you would just be able to unlock that phone and change it over to the new network. But if all carriers decide to use different frequency bands for the 5G networks, this is going to create a big problem, and users won't be able to change phones from one carrier to another, even if you unlock your device, because the frequency bands that the cell phone uses to connect to those 5G speeds won't be compatible from carrier to carrier. So this is something that might be an issue if they all do decide to use different frequency bands, which at the moment, the research I have done is confirming that they will be using different frequency bands. T-Mobile is expected to run their 5G on a 600 megahertz band, and At&t and Verizon are using millimeter wave frequencies for their 5G bands, and they're expected to use 39 gigahertz and 28 gigahertz for their 5G frequencies. At&t is expected to offer different prices for their 5G network. They're going to vary their prices depending on the speeds that you wish to have. So if you wish to benefit from their faster speeds, maybe 1 gigabit or 1.5 gigabit per second downloads, those prices are going to be a little bit pricier. I'm assuming that if you choose to have speeds that are a little bit slower, all those speeds will always be much faster than the current 4G speeds. So that being said, the main benefit of 5G is obviously the speeds. The speeds are expected to be up to like 10 times faster than what they currently are right now. And what this will be useful for is because with time, technology is just taking up more and more space with new technology coming out, like holographic images, virtual reality, streaming, also working together in groups virtually. So this will also be one of the main benefits that will come from 5G technology, is that we'll be able to work in groups online virtually with virtual reality without having to actually be together. And this type of connectivity takes up a lot of data. That's why these 5G speeds will be a necessity for the future because of the rate that technology is evolving. Another important thing that I wanted to cover, I know there's a lot of people skeptical out there if 5G technology is going to have higher radiation waves, if 5G is going to cause cancer. So I did a ton of research on this, and let's clear up a couple points here. So 5G technology will have higher radiation waves. Currently, 3G and 4G have about 1 to 2 gigahertz of radiation waves. The new 5G technology is expected to have of up to 70 gigahertz of radiation waves. So it is a lot higher than the current 4G waves, up to 70 gigahertz, but it's still not a high enough number to do damage to cellular activity in the body. So there's non-ionizing radiation and there's ionizing radiation. So non-ionizing radiation is radiation that is not strong enough to change cellular activity and thus causing diseases like cancer and other certain things that come from radiation. So non-ionizing radiation is okay, it's not a problem. It's a problem when it becomes ionizing radiation, and the levels that are needed to have ionizing radiation is 2.4 million gigahertz waves. So the new 5G technology is going to have 70 gigahertz waves, but for it to actually be a problem, a big problem, where it'll actually change cellular activity in the body, it needs to be 2.4 million gigahertz. So we're still quite a ways away from that. I would say that, it's still safe. Once again, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but from the research that I have done, I can say that it is not going to be a significant amount of radiation and it's not going to make a difference in the body. Also, another thing to keep in mind is that we've been using cell phones now for many years, and studies show that over the time period that humans have been using cell phones for all of these years, there hasn't really been an increase in brain cancer patients from the use of cell phone activity close to the ear. So what I can conclude from this is that the levels of radiation transmitted from cell phones isn't high enough to produce cancer. Now, don't take my word for it. Do your own research and come to your own conclusion on how much use you want to give to your cell phone, and now with the new 5G speeds. So one thing that AT&T has done that has caused a lot of attention is that they've actually changed their 4G branding, their 4G LTE branding to 5GE, and that obviously makes it more attractive to consumers because it has the words 5G in there, but in reality it's not 5G frequency, it's not 5G speeds that you'll be receiving. So Sprint has actually sued AT&T over this for false branding their 4G LTE name to 5GE. Although AT&T has been disputing this back and forth with Sprint to try and keep the name, claiming that they have done many upgrades to their 4G LTE network and that's enough to be able to rename it to 5GE. Although there has been a recent study that AT&T 4G LTE speeds are the fastest in the nation at the moment, and that they have had an increase of 15% faster speeds since the beginning of 2019. And these studies were performed by Ookla, which is the speed test company that you can check out online. I think it's called speedtest.net. If you're interested in seeing the actual real-life speeds of AT&T's current 5G speeds versus 4G LTE speeds, I'm going to be doing a speed test on the next upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. That's all the information that I have up to this moment for 5G wireless technology. So hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give it a like, and that's it for now. I will see you in the next video. And as always, peace. Ciao.